We woke up on the second day to a pleasant morning, warm and not a breath of wind. The day's agenda was to attend the Silver Ride Forever course with Ornsby Motorcycle Training. Dan Ornsby's office is appropriately located on the grounds of the Ruapuna Racing Track, so we had a 40-minute ride ahead of us. We chose to take the more rural route along the river to reduce the amount of shoelace gear shifting my friend would have to do. So he switched on his helmet camera and we set off. The course started off with a relatively brief theory session. Right as it finished up, a replacement gear linkage arrived. It was overnight couriered from Dunedin. I hadn't taken note of how the hardware on the bike was set up before rearranging it and tying the shoelace on, so it took a few of us some trial and error to get it assembled correctly. After a quick test ride around the park, we all took off for the practical part of the riding course. Dan, the instructor, asked me to lead the way because I was booked to sit my full license test the following day, so now was a really good time to get into the habit of turning my whole head when checking for hazards, to make sure it was obvious that I was doing so. We started off riding through the built-up areas of Christchurch. Everyone had a turn at leading the group so Dan could analyse our riding. We all had a radio receiver with a speaker in our helmet so he could always talk to us with his transmitter. Additionally, we had regular stops on the side of the road so he could give us tips on how to improve our riding in response to what he had observed. The stops also served as a chance to regroup when the pack got separated in traffic. stopped for lunch at a cafe in Taitapu, and that concluded our city riding portion of the course. The afternoon was then going to be spent in the open and on the twisty hill roads, so we were all excited for that.
We said for just dropping a little bit of speed before the corner, getting set up and then building on it from there. I'd really strongly encourage you to try and break that habit of riding on that front brake. Even there, you know, you come to a stop and that little bit of loose gravel, you know, with the hand there, you just, you know, in that moment it's all too easy to default to the wrong brake. Easily off these, I'll jump number 2. We'll just keep the same order, I think, and I'll just, yeah, if I get the left hand then straight on.
We got all the way out to Akaroa before turning around. On the way back, Dan took us to a quiet road just short of Gibby's Pass so that he could see us all do emergency stops one at a time. But before that, he tried out the ABS on my bike and shared some thoughts on how necessary and useful it really is.
So, I mean, that there, yeah, that is not bad. It collects itself reasonably quickly, but it still gives that, and that's where you say, yeah, best on shingle or grass, but if that let go on a bit of shingle, then it could very easily go down on you anyway. Oh yeah, it did actually lift a wee bit. I just wouldn't mind feeling the rear on it. You got to be reasonably firm on that rear, like as far as trail braking, rear trail braking. Well, I mean, I use the rear brake a lot with my cornering. It's not because I have to. It's not every corner. It's not for any other reason, just for more better control. But if you're being trail braking in the corner and that ABS is coming in, you're far too heavy on it. It's as simple as that. Because yeah, it took a bit of force to get that going.
On my first go, he told me I need to grip the tank with my legs to take the weight off my arms and hands so that I can use them to control the bike.
Just a bit of that. So try and keep, so pull in there. So try keeping the weight coming forward as much as you can. So so there's definitely no bracing there. So pull in there. Yeah. But all in all, it was a nice controlled stop. Well, next time, just do it on cue. Okay.
Then he got us all to do it again, but this time we'd have to wait until he signalled us rather than stopping in our own time. I forgot to do the tank gripping thing on my second turn, so that's something I still need to work on.
Forgot again! Keep forgetting.
Yeah, and I know once you do it over there too, and there's all this weight, like body weight.
That time I was like, shit, I forgot.
Yeah. And just see, the more you practice too, then the smoother that transition from there to there comes. There's a fine line, but but you don't want that initial grab to be too hard before you load that front. So there to there, gentle, load the front, then by all means, then go for it. Cool.
Once we were done with the braking exercise, it was time to ride over Gibby's Pass to the end of the course, Beckenham. There are 3 Ride Forever courses to cater to all levels of experience, bronze, silver and gold. They're very cheap because they're ACC funded, and I'd recommend any motorbike rider in New Zealand attend one. Or to put it another way, our exorbitant motorcycle registration fees are heavily subsidising these courses, so we may as well get as much return on that as possible. After the group disbanded in Beckenham, my friend and I followed Dan back to the racetrack to have a play on his new purchase, a 2006 Triumph Bonneville America. It had been dropped off there in the morning, but we were too busy dealing with the gear shifter to pay it any attention at the time. We took it for a spin around the car park, and even Dan had a go on it. At this point we had 3 bikes to take back to Wellington, but only 2 of us to ride them. So that's why we had a 3rd person arriving on the plane that evening who would ride one of the bikes back to Wellington with